There's Manny and Oxnard. Haven't seen Manny and Oxnard in a long time. Except Manny on Twitter the other day when you said that we gave the Smack Off title to Caleb because you all knew it was his turn. Even I saw that, Manny. Come on, dude. You know that's not how we operate, Manny. You know this, Manny. You know because you've been listening to this show for decades. I did not give it to Caleb because it was, quote, his turn and you all knew. I gave it to him because it was the best call. Come on, man. You know that, dude. Or you should.
Come on.
Come on. Manny is in. Hey, Van Smack. I know how Twitter works, and it was just smack at Caleb in Green Bay, by the way. Congrats, Caleb. I guess that means I won't be allowed on the air. On hold, but come on, Manny, you know better than that. Manny, you will be allowed on the air. You know this, Manny. You know I appreciate you. You know I appreciate the decades. No, you're not. If I didn't let people on the air because of the bull crap they put on Twitter, nobody would ever get on the air. Because there's so much bull crap on Twitter. I'm just saying, Manny, you know that's not true. Or if you didn't know that's not true, now you do know it's true. This is not the way we operate. We do not have agendas. We don't decide before. You know what that'd be like? It's preordained. It's fixed. Let's see. The Smack-Off's coming up. Whose, quote, turn is it to win? We've already had the BIC. We've already had Lef. We've already had the Cabonasian. I Afraidy, maybe. Jeff in Richmond didn't call. Oh, you know what would be good for the show? Some fat kid in the Midwest. It's his turn. Manny, you know better. Come on, man. That would suggest that the Smack-Off's a scam. That would suggest that the Smack-Off is scripted, that it's not real, that it's preordained, that I have an agenda. That's all bullcrap. That's all I'm saying. But no, that does not mean that you won't get on the air. That just means that that take was wrong. And it also means that if you don't get on the air, it means what I'm doing on the air is probably better than your call. And that's not personal. That would go for all of you. Anyway, I could start another take, or I could go to Manny to prove my point. Let's go to Manny and Oxnard. Because he's right. It has been a minute or a few decades. Manny, what's going on?
Hall of Famer in the box, Skip Asa Van Smack. Thank you so very much for allowing me to be on. Long time no rap. ¿Cómo está usted, Romy?
Muy bien. ¿Y usted?
Muy bien, gracias. You know, I got to thank you, first of all, for all the years that you entertained me in my postal vehicle while I'm out delivering and sweating in that hot box. So thank you very much, Romy, and all the delivery people across America know what I'm talking about. Hey, you know, Rome, the weekend didn't suck at all. When the Nocal, bike-stealing, battery chucks come to visit Blue Heaven on Earth, it truly doesn't suck when the Dodgers break out the broom and whack the Giants with it. It was very nice to see Clay in the house rooting for his brother Trace and jumping around with excitement like he just won something. Oh, wait, damn. Sorry, Van Smack. Let me come correct. Clay did just win an NBA championship. Congrats, Warrior fan. Hey, before I get off the Dodgers, Rome, hey, Child Nation, gracias, and bless you for sending Mookie Betts to wear Dodger blue. And I'm certain you all must be bitter watching him rake in Los Angeles. Yo, Boston Red Sox, I have a question for you and Red Sox fan. How did that ass-whooping taste the other day, losing by more than 20 runs? What was that, Boston? Rome, speaking of getting whacked, I'm not too sure what the Lakers organization is doing other than becoming much like Florida, where all the old folks come to retire. But after last season, couldn't possibly get any worse, could it? There are 47 million reasons that the player who stunk it up last season needs to make up for what he didn't do. I'm also hoping Anthony Davis can do his best to stay healthy and play the way he did when the Lakers won it in the bubble. Hey, Laker fans, implore you to be better. Pull your heads out of your rear end, actually make a playoff run, and squat and teabag the rest of the league. Rome, thanks so much for the Vine. Love hearing from you, man, and I've loved you for so many years. I am out.
See, my man Manny. Rack him. Manny, and you know better. You know that I would not take your phone call based on something you tweeted. You know that. Manny called for years and years and years and then went away for years and years and years and reset some old takes. The thing that he slipped in there was the bike stealer from Frisco. That's an all-timer. That went to one of the most awkward encounters ever. The bike stealer was a pitcher by the name of Shawn Estes that you might recall. And he was accused of ripping off a bike. And one summer when I was in Del Mar, I was invited to a party after one of the race days. And it was one of those, you know, kind of snooty deals up in the hills in Del Mar at some rich guy's house. And we were there, and then I'm outside, and I'm hanging out, and I got separated from Dodger Jano and my friends. And this guy rolls up on me. He's like, yo, Rome, what's up? And it's dark. It's dark. It's like, it's kind of eerie, and it's dark. He's like, you know who I am? I'm like, yeah, dude, you look actually pretty familiar to me, but it's kind of dark. And we probably had one or two in us, both of us. He's like, I'm Shawn Estes, the bike stealer. You remember? I'm like, oh, yeah, I do remember. He's like, yeah, and? I'm like, and what, dude? Didn't you steal that bike? And we had this terse moment, you know? And we got into whether or not he ripped the bike. He's like, yeah, well, maybe I did. And I've had a lot of moments like that with athletes that some go south, and some they're just measuring you. They're testing you. They want to see if you're going to back down or if you're going to stand in and say to their face what you've said about them on the air. I think very clearly my history would suggest that I do that. Very clearly, right? Go YouTube it. Anyway, Estes and I had a little conversation that night, and I'm like, dude, what do you, by the way, bike stealing aside, and I don't want to be a hypocrite because I went to UC Santa Barbara where all we do is steal bikes. That's the whole thing. Like, once you get your bike stolen, and you steal somebody else's bike. It's an eye for an eye. So I guess it was kind of hypocritical for me to be going in on you for doing it when I probably did it myself back in the day. But by the way, dude, what are you even doing here? What are you doing here? Why are we in Del Mar having this conversation at some rich guy's house after the races? It was really random. But I think about that every few years, and I think about that. It may have been a police bike that he ripped. I don't steal police property. I'd have to go back and look at that story. I thought it was a police bike that he ripped. But that makes it a little bit different, Sean. I stole a fellow college student's bike. You ripped a cop's bike. Anyway, 1996. Anyway, I just thought it was so random. Like in Del Mar, you will see lots of different people in Del Mar because Del Mar is one of the bitchinest places ever. And during race season, lots of people go to the track. Athletes, celebrities, business leaders, partiers, beautiful people. Del Mar is it's an amazing thing. Actually, I'm still on the board of directors at the Del Mar racetrack. We had a meeting over the weekend. I did not make it down there because I felt a little under the weather, but I did get on the conference call. And opening day was tremendous. They had a great, great opening day. They had an amazing handle, and all went well. But that's the thing about Del Mar and race season. You never know who you might see. Even a bike stealer. And a party that we ran into each other, and it was so weird and random. And looking back, pretty awesome. But it definitely was awkward. It was definitely awkward for a moment. The story goes, I'm looking at this right now. This is from the San Francisco Chronicle in December of 96. According to Los Gatos police, the promising left-hander took a joyride on a $600 21-speed bicycle parked outside a restaurant in downtown Los Gatos in the wee hours of November 16th. Problem was, the word police was painted on the bike's frame. Yeah, I would imagine in the 90s I pretty much did have a take on that. And he knew I had a take on that and called me on that take. I'm like, come on, bro. Don't be angry, bro. You mad, bro? Let's go steal some police bikes. Stay tuned.